The story of our world is at its core a story of struggle. Nations locked in conflict, dreams shattered, then rebuilt. For centuries, the earth has trembled beneath the boots of armies. Countries clashed over land, over power, over pride. The echoes of these battles still linger. In Southeast Asia, this is not just history. It is a living memory, etched into the very soil. The air here is thick with the weight of ancient grudges, passed down like invisible chains, each new generation bound to the pain of the past. These wounds did not appear overnight. They are the legacy of borders drawn and redrawn in blood. Hopes for greatness collided. Only sorrow was left in their wake. We cannot turn away from this history. It is carved into our hearts. It shapes who we are. It shapes how we see those across our borders. Every nation carries a burning ambition, a longing for dignity, for recognition, for a future brighter than the past. We all yearn to see our people thrive, to see our culture shine, to hear our names spoken with respect. But when these dreams collide, sparks ignite old fires. The flames of rivalry can consume all that we hold dear. The struggle for resources, for influence, for a place in history, these battles have turned neighbors into adversaries, hope into heartbreak. The scars of conflict are everywhere, on the land, in the faces of survivors, in the silence that follows loss. We have witnessed families torn apart, children growing up behind barriers, hearts hardened by grief, by misunderstanding. The first step toward healing is to honor the sacred right of sovereignty, to recognize the dignity of every nation, including our own. Each country must be free to choose its own destiny, to protect its borders, to stand tall, without fear of interference. This is not just a principle. It is a lifeline for peace, in a world too often torn apart. Only by honoring each other's independence can we begin to build bridges where there were once only walls. We must see our neighbors not as threats, but as fellow travelers, each carrying their own burdens, each seeking their own light. True strength is not found in domination, but in the quiet courage to stand firm in our identity, to rebuild from the ashes, with hope. After decades of darkness, Cambodia is slowly, painfully rediscovering its soul. One step, one breath, one memory at a time. We are reclaiming the brilliance that war nearly extinguished, piecing together the fragments of our heritage. The temples of Angkor Wat rise from the mist, a testament to the greatness our ancestors once achieved, a beacon for what we might become. Against all odds, our traditions endure. Our art, our spirit, our will to survive, they are unbroken. Now is the moment to look within, to mend the wounds of our past, to rebuild our identity, with strength born of suffering and resilience. It is time to release the anger that chains us to sorrow, to embrace the hope that, together, we can rise from the shadows, stronger, wiser, united in our journey forward. While we in the cities strive to piece together the fragments of our lives, we must never let our hearts forget the silent sentinels. They guard the soul of our nation, along the endless, uncertain borders of Cambodia. Ordinary men and women stand as the last barrier between peace and chaos. They are not just farmers, not just soldiers. They are families who wake each day to the shadow of uncertainty, never knowing what tomorrow may bring. These men and women form the fragile, unwavering first line of defense for our sovereignty. They endure hardships most of us can scarcely imagine. They battle poverty and survive with only the barest access to schools and hospitals. All the while they live with the ever-present silent tension of life on the edge of a nation. Their lives are living testaments to resilience, unyielding, unbreakable, fueled by a love for their homeland that defies hardship. Their sacrifice is deep, profound, too often invisible to the rest of us. These are the people who surrender comfort, safety, and even their dreams, all for the hope of a nation's future. They carry the weight of ensuring that generations yet unborn will inherit a country to call their own. A place where peace is not just a wish, but a reality, where dreams can finally take root. Their children may have little in their hands, but in their hearts, they hold the priceless gift of a homeland, protected by the quiet, relentless courage of their parents. This is a sacrifice made not for glory, not for riches, but for the simple, indomitable idea of Cambodia itself. It is a debt we can never truly repay, except by building a nation worthy of their struggle and pain. When conflict erupts along these borders, it is not just a political skirmish. It is a direct assault on the fragile hopes and dreams of an entire people. Every moment lost to conflict is a moment stolen from the future. A future that could have been brighter, safer, more just. It drains our resources, diverts our leaders. It fills our villages with fear and sorrow. When what we need most is hope, it shatters our chances to build, to educate, to heal. It dims the promise of opportunity for our youth. They deserve so much more. Each time we are dragged back into the darkness of old disputes, the light of a brighter tomorrow flickers and fades. We must not let these conflicts dictate our fate. We must face these challenges with wisdom, with patience, with the courage to choose peace over anger. Anger is a wildfire. It devours all in its path, leaving only ashes where hope once grew. It blinds us, drives us to decisions that can destroy everything we have fought to protect. Instead, let us choose calm. Let us choose intelligence. Let us embrace diplomacy, strategy, and a vision that looks far beyond the next border skirmish. Our greatest strength is not in our willingness to fight, but in our ability to endure, to think, to unite, to forge a peace that honors the sacrifice of those who stand watch at the borders and secures a future worthy of their struggle. Cambodia stands at a crossroads. The weight of our past meets the promise of our future. For too long, our brilliance has been overshadowed. Hardship and loss have been constant companions. Yet we are descendants of empire builders, dreamers of greatness. That spirit of creation survives every storm. It refuses to be extinguished. Our artists transform pain into beauty. They paint our history, resilience, and hope. Our musicians echo struggles and triumphs. They blend ancient sorrow with renewal. Against all odds, our scholars and innovators rise. They defy expectations and break barriers. Each success story is a testament. We transform adversity into achievement. The greatest challenge is believing in ourselves, daring to see the extraordinary within. For generations, we have been defined by struggle. Now, it's time for strengths and unity. Our resilience, creativity, and intelligence are forged in hardship. True greatness is measured by courage. It lives in the art we create, the businesses we build, the communities we strengthen. The first step is to believe transformation is possible. This journey demands humility and courage. No nation thrives in isolation. Our strength is magnified when we join hands. We must be bold to learn from the world, humble to accept help and new ideas. Teamwork and understanding are our greatest weapons. They combat division and stagnation. When we unite to build and trade, we turn struggle into triumph. The future we build together is invaluable. Humility is our strength. Together we are unstoppable. Our path forward demands commitment. Lifting every Cambodian, leaving no one behind. Progress must reach beyond the city. Into every corner of our nation, every village, every family, every child must feel hope. This means investing in education, creating opportunity, and giving every voice a place. The road is long, but every step is a victory. By choosing inclusive growth, we heal old wounds. We lay the foundation for a future where every Cambodian can rise, together, unbreakable. The journey ahead will not be simple. Yet, it is ours to embrace. As a new day begins in Cambodia, we find ourselves at the start of a new chapter, one defined by hope and guided by humility. The world outside our borders is wide and unpredictable. Not every hand extended is one of friendship. There will be those who test our resolve, some who may try to take advantage of our trust, and others who challenge our unity. But we are not without strength. With steady vigilance, we protect our sovereignty, uphold our dignity, and hold fast to our dreams. Vigilance does not mean fear. It is wisdom gained from experience and strength shaped by humility. It is the quiet determination to safeguard the peace we have worked so hard to restore. We must look beyond appearances and recognize true allies from those who only appear as friends. Even as we protect our hearts, we must always hold on to hope. Hope is our greatest inheritance. It is the light that guides us forward. It is the belief that tomorrow can be brighter and that we have the power to shape it. We must dare to imagine a Cambodia that is peaceful, prosperous, proud, and united in spirit. Let us teach our children not the pain of the past, but the promise of new beginnings. Resilience is our legacy. We have endured the unimaginable and survived the darkness. Now let us rise, not just to survive but to thrive, and to build a lasting peace for generations to come. Let us choose unity over division, and shared prosperity over rivalry. True greatness is not found in reopening old wounds, but in healing them together. Let us build bridges of understanding, not walls of suspicion. By reaching out to our neighbors with respect and a shared vision, we can transform our region and become a beacon of peace and hope. Let this be our generation's legacy, to turn the page on conflict and write a new story of friendship, collaboration, and lasting peace. The future is not written for us. It is written by us. With courage, compassion, and humility, we will create a destiny worthy of our ancestors' dreams. Let us honor those who came before by building a nation that stands tall in hope and humility. Let us empower our visionaries, creators, and builders to shape a future that inspires the world. Let us lead with wisdom, act with humility, and always believe in the potential within every Cambodian heart. Together, with hope as our guide and humility as our strength, we will step out of the shadows of the past and into a bright future. The future of Cambodia begins now.